Get a dog name, John?
Yeah, I had that. Woo! Alright. I'm gonna put it on me right now.
Not that kind of shirt, John.
He's not on mute.
Yeah, had it on mute. What's up, people? Welcome to That Geek Show, the show where we talk about all things related to games, tech, movies, TV shows, and collecting. On today's show, we got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about, including E3, Star Wars and its lack of the Force lately in the theaters, and the Spawn movie. And with me to break this all down, we got my man, the statue fanatic, Calvin. What's up, Calvin? How you doing, bro?
Doing good, man. There's a lot going on this week, man. I'm excited about this today.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be pretty awesome, man. I'm having a good time with what I'm seeing so far, though.
Oh yeah.
All right. And then also here to break more of this stuff down is that gamer himself. I'm losing my train of thought here. Ryan, how you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing well, man. How you doing?
Good, man. Good to have you back, bro.
Thanks.
All right. And then last but not least, we got my brother, the MCE Gambit, here to do the show with us. What's up, John? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing today? Everyone good to go?
Yeah, man.
I'm hearing a little bit of an echo. Or
Now you're hearing a little bit of echo?
I'm basically seeing a lot of still framing and echoing and actually distorted.
I only see you doing that. The other guys don't seem to be doing that.
Yeah, I'm only hearing it from your side.
All right.
Okay.
So we can continue on. I mean, now that you've had the microphone off mute for the entire time that we had the intro going on.
So everybody watched you and listened to you work out there, man.
Yeah, man.
Inspiring people, man. Don't even know it.
All right, cool.
I can even hear you walk around.
I can't really hear you guys making fun of me too well, so go ahead and go for it.
All right, first topic on the list is E3. It's back. I'm pumped. They got so many games coming out right now that, I mean, I think Microsoft had like 50 games and like 15 exclusives just yesterday. And they also had Bethesda had their release, Ubisoft and EA. And I think at 9 o'clock tonight, we're going to have Sony. So there is a ton of games coming out. We've seen Halo come back, Halo Infinite. There's a new Star Wars game that was in talks, although we didn't get to see any footage of that. Forza Horizon 4, that thing was amazing. Just a lot of cool stuff. So first question up, guys. Really to Ryan, since Ryan's the big gamer here, man. What is the game you're most excited about right now, bro?
I think it's Battlefield 5.
Battlefield 5, why, bro?
I've been playing the series since Battlefield 2, and I've always enjoyed those games, especially a little bit more than the Call of Duty games.
Anything new with Battlefield 5 is going to be different than the others?
They're doing I heard they're also doing kind of like a PUBG Fortnite thing where they're going to have a Battle Royale mode too. So that sounds like that could be pretty cool.
That's like that Battle Royale, right?
Yeah, because like when I play PUBG and some of those other games, I feel like all I'm doing is gathering weapons for some 17-year-old who's just going to destroy me.
That's how it works, man. That's exactly how that works. That's why I get so frustrated with those games.
Well, the PUBG, you spend 20 minutes gathering weapons only to die in like a 1-minute fight. You're like, why
No
am
kidding.
I
Exactly.
freaking playing this damn game? Anyway.
Yeah, I can't play first-person shooters. I suck. And then I get owned, like you said, by some like 5-year-old on the other end of the mic, and I'm just like get totally angry.
Yeah.
So I mean, also going on, Microsoft. Like I said, they had their conference yesterday. One of the things that they brought up is they're introducing a new streaming service that is going to allow for their games to be played across several different platforms. So you're going to have it on the Xbox itself, the PC, and then also on mobile. So I'm curious, Calvin, you being in the retail field, how do you think this is going to affect that?
Well, I mean, from what I can say, because most of you guys know I work at Best Buy, but from what I can say, it looks like PC gaming is taking off quite a bit, man. If you walk into any Best Buy right now, man, they have a ton of PC stuff where you can build your own rigs now. At one point, it was not even cost effective to do that, but a lot of people are starting to build their own systems, and I think like Microsoft is allowing a lot of their titles to be compatible cross-platform, and many people started with the PC era, and being able that they can play some of the most popular games now on PC again. I think that's a lot of interest in that going forward.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Also, I also noticed that since Microsoft has the ability to play their games on both PC and Xbox, a lot of their titles are like that. It gives me the ability to play some of these games again since I don't have the Xbox anymore. Right. So I think that's gonna be kind of cool. I'm really looking forward to Forza. That's why I mentioned it earlier.
And you're gonna be able to play that on the PC too, right?
Yeah, you're gonna be able to play Forza on Windows 10. I think they've launched at the same time, and I think that it's cross-platform, so you could play on both. You could play with somebody on Xbox as well if you're on PC.
Yeah, I just
love
one real
racing.
quick question, George. I'm assuming that's one of your favorite games right there. You keep mentioning that one.
Yeah, I'm used to. I used to race cars for a little bit. I drag raced the car that I have for a little bit before I started collecting, and then I almost put it into a wall, so that's why I stopped.
That one.
Makes sense.
But
Makes sense.
yeah, but playing Forza, it allows me to still have a good time with the whole racing, and then this new one's gonna have some new additions to it, like having seasonal changes, which is something different that I haven't seen in any of the Forza games prior to this one, as well as a continuing online gameplay. So you're going to be in a world with a bunch of other racers, and you're not just going to be playing with like a PC or avatars. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
So,
I saw that yesterday when I was watching the reveal that it's an open world type racing where you're racing against real people.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
exactly
Sounds awesome.
I'm not I'm more of a fighting game and shooting game type of person. So that Halo caught my attention. And then that Jump Force. I think Jump Force was another one that caught my attention.
Yeah,
Did I
man,
catch
Jump
those?
Force looked dope. That looked awesome.
Yeah, I felt like, because normally, like all the or like the Dragon Ball games, I almost feel like it's like when I was watching like the preview for it, it was almost like I was watching one of like the DC games or like the Injustice games with all that almost a movie I'm watching before the game.
Did you play Dragon Ball Z Fighter or Dragon Ball Fighter Z?
I've always been more like the last game I was playing was the Marvel versus Capcom. And then the Injustice games. Those are the last games I played as far as fighting games.
Cool.
You?
Alright, cool.
You played the Dragon Ball Fighter?
I've only played it for 10 minutes, but it was really fun. I just keep forgetting to go back to it.
See, I always stayed away from the Dragon Ball games because of the combination. Like my favorite fighting game would probably be like Dead or Alive, because I like more simple, where it's a combination of punches and kicks and counters and whatnot, versus having to press like up down ABX to make the move. I have to remember. I don't like to have to remember a combination of moves. I'd rather it be more realistic that I'm either punching you low or punching you high or going in for a grab after some type of a combo.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. One last thing I just want to mention is I've been a huge Destiny fan, and this game Anthem that I never even heard of. I watched it today, and that looked like that might actually replace my Destiny addiction. Man, that looked really good.
It did look dope. Yeah, Anthem looked pretty badass.
Funny.
Although all they showed was they didn't really show gameplay, right? Or they did show gameplay.
They showed an extensive gameplay of it, man.
They did. They had some. I gotta take a look at that. All I've seen so far was that beginning where they had. I think it was like he like goes down into the jungle, and then they had like I guess that was kind of gameplay, but. I have a hard time trusting what I'm seeing at E3 sometimes too. Is because sometimes what they show there, it looks like gameplay, but it's really just a demo. And then they make you feel like this is what the game's going to be like, and then later on you get the game and it's nothing like that.
Yeah,
Lied to me again.
Right? I mean, did you guys play Division at all?
No.
Division? Anybody? Nobody?
I didn't play Division. I wanted to, but I couldn't give up Destiny at the time. There was two competing time priorities.
Well, for example, when I'm with that one, when we first saw Division at E3 a year ago or a year before ago, they showed things like being able to play the game with people on a mobile platform, so somebody with an iPad could jump in and they could control like a drone, and that never came into the game. So, those are things that that's like, okay, don't show it if you're not gonna put it in it. Well, anyway, with that being said, with the games, man, to the whole panel here, if you had your choice between a PC or console game, which would you play?
I would go console.
Go ahead.
I would go console personally. I'm not a PC gamer.
Why console?
I'd probably play.
I like the controller. But I guess I could put a controller on a PC game too. But I lean towards the. I don't know. I guess because I like playing things that I'm more of a social person when it comes to anything, and so I like to be able to play with someone right there, right next to me. And I find you get that more with. Well, I guess I like the console better. That's why. I don't know why. I like it better.
Are you saying PC gamers are unsocial?
Of course you
I
did.
mean, you're social in the world.
So what
about all the
Ryan, what is he
MMOs
trying
that
to
are out
say,
there?
right?
Hey, what about all the MMOs that are out there?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Hey, I like. I mean, when I say I like to play with people, I mean someone sitting right next to me. Hence, I like the fighting games.
So I like consoles, but I'm really getting into being interested in the PC because they've been, you can get that same experience in a laptop, and because I travel a lot, I like being able to take it with me. That would be the only reason I would probably go to PC to get a gaming laptop.
Nice.
What about you, Ryan?
I've been a longtime member of the PC Master Race. I only stick to PCs. I think so, but in all seriousness, I think consoles are great for fighting games and racing games. In fact, I pretty much only play racing games on console, but that'll probably change with the Forza. I didn't realize that was PC, so I'm really excited for that as well. But at least for first-person shooters, if there's like a strong multiplayer to it, I have to play it on PC. I can't deal with the thumbsticks. It just makes me want to club a baby seal.
Okay. My only reason why I lean to PC a little bit is because of the
There you go. Counts.
because of the upgradability that you have versus a console. With the console you get it, and it's like you have to upgrade every so many years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever they're doing now. PC, I've had my PC for 10 plus years, and I just upgrade the graphics card, and I'm good to go. So that's my thoughts anyway. All right, well, let's move on to the next subject. Next subject is Star Wars losing the Force. They have definitely got some issues in the theaters going on these days. From what I've seen ever since The Force Awakens, it seems like each subsequent movie has done worse in the box office. And I'm curious as to what you guys think the reasoning is. Why? I'm like, what do you guys think is the fall, or better wording of that is, sorry, I'm like lost my wording there. Calvin, specifically to you, because I know that you haven't seen it. I think Ryan and John have seen Solo, but I know you didn't see Solo. So what do you think that the reasoning behind its decline is because they're releasing too many Star Wars movies?
I think that is part of it. I mean, I'm feeling Star Wars fatigue in that, we get 2 Star Wars movies in a year, and I just think at some point it kind of needs to be something that you anticipate. And I think they're taking all the anticipation of the next movie. And the other thing with me is, though, I've seen the ones before, Solo, but I just didn't see that. I'm going to see it when it comes out. I'm going to buy the Steelbook and all that stuff, but I didn't see it in the theater. But like the MCU universe, I just felt like every last one of those movies, starting with the very first one, even the ones that weren't so good, like the Hulk, was building to something, to an event. And the whole standalone Star Wars movie sometimes just seem like, where are we going with this? That's my take on it. I don't know.
All right. Yeah, I'm kind of agreeing with you there a little bit. When Star Wars movies came out, they used to be like every 3 years, and then now we're seeing them like now 6 months apart. And it doesn't seem like it's special anymore because we're seeing so many. You guys feel the same way? The rest of you guys?
Well, as far as the fatigue,
Yeah.
well, I would think, I guess I can see your point with that. As far as getting too many of the movies. I'm a movie person, so I tend to go see them regardless. So for me, I don't necessarily have the fatigue that'll stop me from going to see the movie. I think it's more on the character selection and maybe the story.
Okay.
What do you mean?
That, like, for example, how much did we not know about Solo before they made a Solo movie? Or I think Boba Fett's another movie that they're looking to make, and for that one alone, I'm like, I don't even see the point of that. Because I just feel like, what are they going to tell me about the guy? I know that his father, he was a clone that was raised as a child. His father was killed in the Clone Wars. He then became the bounty hunter, which we find in the last 3 episodes, and he dies in Return of the Jedi. But he's always a bad guy. I think for them to make these spin-off stories, he has to be kind of the hero, or at least the anti-hero. Where is he going to fit into that type of story? So I don't see that as having too much success.
Yeah, and I guess the obvious person, Obi-Wan Kenobi, they seem to not be paying much attention to this guy.
True.
Well, there's one unofficially. There's supposed to be one in the works. Unofficially.
True, but like with Obi-Wan, it's like, is there a story, or something from the main movie that we're like, man, how did that particularly happen? So if I feel like if you're trying to figure out how something happened, then you can have the story. So I feel like that was the good part about Rogue One. The whole story is about getting those Death Star plans. And they did a great job leading up into ending it where the Episode 4 began. Excuse me. So I thought that was a cool way to do a story. Hence why I think that was a little popular. But if you're gonna pick off another character, to tell their story, if it's one of the main characters, how much more story are they going to be able to tell? I think you would really, I think if you want to do like a Star Wars spinoff, I think you probably want to go back and show some things from like these video games that you guys played, where you show like the old Jedi, how the Jedi Order came about, and maybe another, because it's cyclical. Like you went, Jedi's were in power, Siths were in power, Jedi's were in power, Siths were in power. So showing some of those stories, of how it even got to, where Luke would have began, or would be more popular, or before he even got to Anakin, or those main stories. I think that might be interesting.
I think a lot of it is due to the time frame between Episode 8 and kind of the Episode 8 reactions that kind of left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouth, whether you like it or not.
That's a good point. I did see a lot of people saying that they were banning the movie just because.
And I think the director problems early on with Solo didn't, just kind of made people.
But I thought Solo was good.
Not seeing that. Yeah, I agree. I enjoyed it. It wasn't great, but I liked it. I thought it was good.
So that was going to be something that I was going to bring up as well. That a lot of people. It seems like a lot of the Star Wars fans on Twitter and I've seen it on Facebook as well, that they're angry with Kathleen Kennedy's way she's taking it. So I'm seeing or hearing that they're boycotting the movie a lot. So do you feel like that could be a reason why something like Solo didn't do as good? That's a question.
I feel like it's too early to blame Kathleen Kennedy. I mean, they've really only had one movie that wasn't that great, right? And that, to me, at least to me, and that was Episode 8. Now, if you look at the sales, they've only had one bad movie that didn't sell well, and that was Solo, right? So I feel like it's way too early to be like, burn her, get her off. It's like, what?
Yeah.
People need to pull out.
Well, they're up there with their pitchforks, though, man. Star Wars fans, they get, right in there.
People need to have a beer and chill out.
True.
I agree, man.
True. I agree. Well, I mean, do you guys even think they should be doing spin-off movies? I mean, MCU obviously did a good job with their spin-off movies, and it's like what Calvin said earlier. They were building up to something, and they knew they were going to do that right from the beginning. So when we saw things like the after-credit scenes, like in Iron Man, when the general came in that knew that you tied that into the Hulk, and he said we're starting an initiative. You saw that Avengers thing on there. Everybody was like, yeah, With Star Wars. It seems like you already have these characters. You know where they're going. So, I mean, do we even need spinoffs for all these characters? What do you guys think?
Yeah, but Avengers didn't do Avengers Infinity War and then go back and start telling all the individual stories.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think they need to just wait. Just take your time with these movies. Especially the Solo films Sorry, I didn't mean Solo as in Han Solo, but these standalone films. They just need to chill out and just take your time, develop the script. Maybe give them more than 1 year to, get everything situated. Give them more time, and that way they don't really need to have one come out every year. Just have it come out when it's done, and It could be on the off year between the episodic.
Took 10 years for the MCU, right?
Was 10 years. Yeah. I mean, but shit, Star Wars is what, 40?
Well, they didn't start actually yeah, right. I get, yeah.
So they had a bunch of time, and essentially, pretty much episodes 1, 2, and 3 didn't get the same love that 4, 5, and 6, Scott?
That's because of Jar Jar. That's the reason why.
I mean, I don't know. Like for me personally, I like my favorite one is Episode 3. Hey.
Yeah,
And I know everyone's Episode 5, but I'm gonna say it again, Episode 3 for me.
My heart started
because
racing.
I think most of the newer movies just had better graphics for me.
My heart started racing. I thought you were going to say, I really, really like Jar Jar.
Well, you don't know. John's got a tattoo of him on his back.
I thought that was what he was going to
I didn't even hear it, man. Hey. But I missed that. I missed that joke.
No, you said that you really like, and you kind of paused there for a little bit. So I thought you were going to actually say, I like Jar Jar Binks. And I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah, man. That's my dude, bro. I do got a tattoo. It's on my butt.
Where he belongs, probably.
All right.
It says Visa exit only.
Oh, my God. All right, moving on.
All right. So getting off the Star Wars subject, a new Spawn movie was announced a few weeks ago, I think now. I'm pretty sure it's been like a week or two since we heard it from Todd McFarlane. So the last time we saw Spawn in the theaters, it's arguably probably one of the worst superhero movies I've seen in the theaters. Even still, though, I still watch it. But, that's kind of like one of those guilty pleasure things that I'm like, yeah, I've seen it. I'm sorry that I'm like admitting that on camera right now, but I mostly don't tell anybody else that I watched that movie. So
I will proudly say that I saw Spawn at least 7 times in the movie theater. That's just wrong, man. I'm not saying it was the best movie, but this is the best I had at the time. There was no MCE at that time. No MCU at that time. So I had Spawn.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Were you in middle? Was it like a middle school movie where you were just taking your dates there? That was just the one you picked?
Man, I wish I was in middle school at the time. I'd be a lot younger than I am right now.
I mean, I saw Starship Trooper in theaters, and that movie was garbage.
All right, man. All right. Okay, I'm a Spawn fan, diehard Spawn fan. I'm glad they're making a movie. So continue. What were you going to ask, George?
Well, I love the Spawn character, and I love the Spawn story. I'm not going to say that I hate that. I felt that the live action movie lacked a lot, but I do think that the HBO series he had was pretty good.
Yeah.
But one of the big things that I think has kind of messed up the way the roles is because Todd McFarlane is very heavily into it. He keeps complete control over everything. And I'm wondering if you guys feel the same way. Do you think that Todd McFarlane, if he was to release a little bit of control and maybe get another writer or somebody to get involved there to help him out, that we might see much more success out of this movie? What do you guys think?
I think maybe that was one of the problems maybe with the first Spawn, because he wasn't that heavily involved. He gave a lot over to the studios, the producers and things like that, and he trusted them to tell the story. And if you remember when we talked on the show before, we talked about Black Panther and how that some of these movies with MCU have done so well because they allow the creators to have creative control over the story they're trying to tell. So maybe that's a good thing instead of a bad thing.
So is that what happened with the first one? I honestly didn't know. I mean, did Todd not have any control of the movie at all?
No, he wasn't the director or anything like that. They hired a director. And he had input, but it wasn't him telling the story per se. He had someone else was telling his story.
Oh.
Okay.
So maybe he does need to take more control.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like that can be a negative and a positive at the same time, but I guess you could probably apply that to a lot of things where, if they have too much control, they're not a director. I mean, at least I don't believe he's a director. In his past, I just feel like that could also make it just dreadful. Right. I'm hoping. I'm with you, though. I love Spawn. I love the HBO series. I saw that when I wasn't supposed to, late at night. I loved it. I was in middle school when I saw the series.
Me too.
I loved it. I have it on DVD. And
that was my Skinemax, bro.
I feel like you didn't discover the internet at that point. I actually thought John Leguizamo was fine in the movie.
Oh man, he was great.
I thought he was great. I'll take it. Yeah, seeing Martin Sheen in it was interesting. But
I feel like we saw a different movie, guys.
You didn't like John Leguizamo? I thought he did a decent job.
Yeah, he did.
maybe it was a little over the top a couple times, but I thought generally he was fine.
Yeah.
George felt it should have been Danny DeVito.
You're thinking
No.
No, I
That
am.
would have worked too, probably.
But I'm excited about this movie. So Jamie Foxx, right, George?
Yeah, Jamie Foxx is set to play Spawn. I know that there was some rumors going around that he wasn't going to that Spawn was supposed to be like a secondary character in the story. But I know, Calvin, I think you mentioned that those were still just rumors at the moment. But the bigger thing is that Jamie Foxx is more of a witty. He does play serious roles, but he does have a more like smart kind of wit to him, and when he acts, and that he kind of carries over in most of his characters. So do you think that is a good matchup for a Spawn character? But Spawn is a much more brooding, angry, devilish type of character. So do you think that is something that Jamie Foxx could really sink his teeth into?
Ryan, what do you think, Ryan?
I don't know. I mean, so I'm with you. I really feel like if Jamie Foxx to this role, he's not gonna.
I say,
he
man,
must have lines.
I like Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, but do you think he can do a superhero?
Man, he could do Charles. He could do a secret. Yeah.
He's good at biopics, but I don't know.
Yeah. He's an Academy Award winning actor that I think could probably get into this role and bring a whole new look to Spawn. I'm excited about him doing it. I don't know why people are giving him such crap about doing this role. I mean, maybe there are other people that you might think about to do the role, but he got it, and I think he's gonna knock it out of the park. I'm rooting for him, man.
Yeah, man, he's pro motherfucker Jones. I don't know. Jamie Foxx is a good actor to me, man. I think he was in that movie Kingdom, in which that was it wasn't a humorous role. He was more, angry. And that's probably one of the only ones I can think about where he's not too witty and humorous. But also in that movie Baby Driver, he didn't really play a witty type of person, more of a tough guy role too.
Yeah, I think he'll do a great job, man. I'm sure he didn't come cheap, so apparently they must be putting some funds behind this movie, I hope.
Yeah, I see that.
All right, well, I mean, so we got Spawn. We know he's going to be in the movie. Who do you guys think they're going to put up as the villain? Who would you want to see as the villain?
Violator, man. You got to have the Violator.
Violator?
I want to see Overkill.
That is the cyborg you were talking about.
That's the one I was talking about, the cyborg. I knew I couldn't remember the name.
That's right. It's Overt Kill, right? Because they couldn't use Overkill for whatever reason. Yeah, I want to see that. I love that storyline in the comics.
Would you guys want to see it as rather see it as another origin story, or would you rather just be more of a just a character story where he's already spawned and already doing his thing?
Well, I think we deserve another origin, but I think they can't. I don't want them to give it too much attention because it's pretty simple,
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with that. And watch the original. It's enough origin in there.
I think they should redo the origin story, in my opinion. Give us a new take on it. It'd be something similar to like what they did with Batman when they changed the characters up. Everybody wanted to see, it felt like they needed a new origin story with Ben Affleck. But I don't know. That's my opinion. So, all right. Well, that's what we got, man. What's going on in the chats right now, man? Anybody talking to the people in the chats?
I have been here and there. It seems like a lot of people are don't want him to have too much control. At least McFarlane. Go ahead, John.
All right.
What were you gonna say?
Vic said every time he pictures Jamie Foxx, he thinks of Shanae. Hey.
I actually do too, to be honest, a lot of times.
I think a lot of people are thinking that. That's why they're not giving him a chance, man.
Man. I think give it a chance. I think Jamie Foxx should do a good job. Hey. Maybe he'll sing.
You guys are killing me here, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I mean, I think a lot of people are still have like a real early memory of him playing Electro, and I think that could probably be what was playing.
Electro was garbage.
I thought he was
bad.
awful in that, whether it was his fault or not.
But it wasn't his fault, really, in my opinion. I think the story itself was just bad.
Well, I guess you'd have to know whether he was directed to do that or if, you know.
True.
Good point.
All right.
He's still trash. I'm just playing.
All
All right,
cool.
well, if there's nothing going on in the chats, we're going to go ahead and call it. Appreciate you guys for joining the show. You can catch more episodes of That Geek Show every week on Mondays at 8 p.m. and also on mcecentral.com. So head on over there. There's a wealth of other shows like Statue Fanatic. Calvin has all his videos up there. And Marvelous Statues, our statue review show, and Off the Reel, plus a whole lot more. I can go on and just keep on going. But head over to mcecentral.com and check that out. So we're going to be coming back at you with another episode just like this one next week. So stay tuned for that. And until then, keep it marvelous, guys.
Peace, guys.
Yeah.
Later.